welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alante, and I am reading Shahrazad Ali's The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. We are on chapter 17. If you haven't watched chapters 1 through 16 yet, check them out in this playlist. Let me know your thoughts. This book has been... I see why it caused a lot of conversation back in the day, but let's get into it. Chapter 17, Arguments. Like the last chapter, let's take a deep breath and get through it. There might be some things that are triggering to people in this chapter, but we're going to get through it. There is an ultimate message at the end. Hang tight. We'll get through it together, all right? All right, chapter 17. Arguments. The black man knows that arguing with a black woman is a useless exercise and one he cannot win. Nobody on earth can out-argue a black woman. She will save up certain incriminating information to use it at a proper moment to give her leverage. She can speak very quickly and fire off insults hundreds at a time like a Gatling gun. The black woman, when arguing with the black man, tends to sound as if she's fussing at her child. She does not distinguish between the two when she is angry, especially since she views the black man as an incompetent, immature being. Sheesh. She will harbor grudges and hold fast to a hostile thought forever. She is very adept at negative thinking. Therefore, when it comes time to argue, she uses the no-holds-barred theory and vents all of her complaints at once. She will throw in new topics, things that she has been upset about over the past month, and is glad to have the chance to get it off. She will make the most cruel and throat-cutting remarks, and in every new argument, she throws up the old embers from the previous one. A mere apology from her man is not enough. Nothing is enough if she is mad and she thinks she's right. She might demand some material items like clothes, jewelry, money, or more until she is satisfied that her man is truly sorry and repentant. Sometimes it might be a request that he do certain housework, take her out, keep the children, or stay home. When arguing, she insists on having the last word. She curses and flings the most vile words out of her mouth. Sometimes she can keep up the same argument for days, never changing a word. She manages to stay angry for an extraordinary length of time, will huff and puff, turn red, sweat, stomp her feet, slam doors, or throw things. After a certain point, she ceases to address the right or wrong of the issue and merely fights to win. She considers herself the winner if she manages to drive the man out of the house, make him stop talking back, or get him to concede. If she has done something and is guilty, busted, she checks her mental files to find something that the black man has done which is equally wrong and use that point to defend herself. She cannot rest until she forces him to admit his error. I grew up listening to some bad arguments, and because of that, I've never wanted to argue like that in my relationships because it's just so bad. Like, used to get my anxiety up really high as a kid. So whenever I see myself slipping into wanting to raise my voice or to argue or to be combative, I'm very disappointed in myself all the time because I just absolutely hate that trait. So I've been working very hard to remain calm, and my man has challenged me to remain loving in arguments. Like, just because we disagree does not mean I don't love you anymore, I don't respect you anymore. And that has been a challenge, but not one that I'm backing down from at all. She has learned that the black man is peaceful by nature. She has learned that he will go along with a lot of situations just to keep the peace and keep from arguing with her. Sometimes she places outrageous demands on him to try to perk him up into an argument. It's a game to her, an unfair one, since she could not survive this kind of mental pressure from the black man. But she is petty, and she keeps all sorts of little mental scorecards, and when the right moment presents itself, she lets go with both barrels. Below are a few examples of the trite reasons the black woman uses to get mad and argue with the black man. All right, it's a list of 50 things, so I'm going to try to get through them. All right, here we go.
1. If he stays away from home too long, whether she knows where he is or not. 2. If he visits with his mother or other family members too often or too long. 3. If he does not take her to the place of her choice. 4. If he breaks a date with her for a reason she does not accept. 5. If he says, "I'll be right back," and doesn't. 6. For doing more for his side of the family than hers. 7. For speaking to an old acquaintance with too much enthusiasm. 8. For dancing too close with another woman. 9. For looking at another woman when she is out with him. 10. For not telling her that he loves her enough. 11. For spending too much money on his other children. 12. For not complimenting her on her new outfit or hairstyle. 13. For not remembering her birthday or other special occasions. 14. For being too tired or too busy to have sex with her. 15. For admiring another black woman on TV or in the movies. 16. For not being on time for a dinner date. 17. For working too much, not cutting the grass, or emptying the trash. 18. For not attending a special affair with her. 19. For not going to church or on a church bus trip. 20. For being too busy to listen to her chatter. 21. For not opening the door or pulling out her chair. 22. For wearing a suit she doesn't like or any other outfit. 23. For doing too many favors for his friends. 24. For loaning money to his friends or relatives. 25. For watching too much television. 26. For not continuing his education. 27. For not asking for a raise. 28.
This is not funny, but just going through the numbers is like, dang. And I know there's probably men watching this like, so sad. 28. For buying a car she doesn't like. 29. For wanting to have some time with the boys or the fellas. 30. For ignoring her accidentally when he is with another woman. 31. For not showing his affection for her in public. 32. For growing a beard or getting a special haircut. 33. For taking the children's side against her. 34. For showing out or dancing funny at a party. 35. For telling her to shut up or that she talks too much. We are talking about Blackwoman, right? Like, I don't know where that goes over well for any black woman.
Shut up! You talk too much. Dang.
Sorry, it's not funny.
36. For telling her that her clothes look funny or too tight. 37. For telling her she has on too much makeup. 38. For asking her to clean up the house. 39. For expecting her to give him some attention. 40. For not going shopping with her. 41. For going to sleep in a movie or while she is talking to him. 42. For not letting her drive or give him traffic instructions. 43. For staying out too late, not reporting in or answering questions. 44. For telling her that she nags too much. 45. For forbidding her to do certain thing or go to a certain place. 46. For asking where she's been. 47. For asking her to fix him something to eat. 48. For refusing to babysit the children when he has other plans. 49. For asking her what she did with her or his money. 50. For telling and proving to her that she was wrong about something.
This list is actually almost infinite and just as ridiculous. This is not to say that couples do not become displeased with each other for doing this or that, but the displeasure must be expressed in civilized terms. A civilized person is one who does and says things in an intelligent, mannerable, considerate way. Civilized, more importantly, means one possessing knowledge, wisdom and understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage. The pursuit of happiness. There is another kind of black woman who does not consider a fight unless some licks are passed. She is the kind who believes that she is just as tough and bad as a man and thinks she can say whatever she wants to, no matter how repugnant, insulting, and disrespectful it is, and thinks that there are no ramifications or accountability. She tries to be a bully. She braces up to her man toe to toe and eye to eye. She presents a problem when she does this. This brings up a very unpopular and unpleasant category, the black man's self-defense mechanism. There is never an excuse for ever hitting a black woman anywhere but in the mouth. Because it is from that hole in the lower part of her face that all her rebellion culminates into words. Her unbridled tongue is a main reason she cannot get along with the black man. She often needs a reminder. This does not mean that she needs or wants to be battered or beaten to a pulp. However, if she becomes disrespectful and viciously insulting to the black man, there is a penalty. The black man must turn the tables on her and withdraw from her bed. He must be disciplined enough to deny her sex. This will get her attention. She is often like a rambunctious child. She wants to know what her parameters are. If she is allowed to curse and yell at the black man, she will get worse. This is not an instruction to be used as a license to daily beat the hell out of a black woman. This directive is for sensible black men who adopt the tactics and advice of this entire text. The author is not advising, when in doubt, knock her out. To beat the black woman and injure her, or to strike her with a closed masculine fist, is forbidden. For the black man to become impatient and just beat the black woman is savage and uncivilized behavior that is not recommended. If she is brutalized repeatedly, the relationship will fail, and the black man will be possibly arrested and charged with cowardly abusing a woman. Analyzing the options available to the black man when the black woman's mouth becomes uncontrollably disrespectful, they only total a few. 1, he can walk away from her, leave the house, get drunk. 2, he can go to his other woman and complain. 3, he can quit the relationship and leave the woman. 4, he can try to argue back and lose. 5, he can seek counseling or sympathy from friends. 6, he can withdraw from her bed and deny her sex. She may also have to be physically restrained until her anger and shock passes. It's okay to restrain her. She won't burst, and no black woman can win a physical fight against a right black man. The black man should not be so refined or cool to accept harsh language from his woman. She can cause a great commotion when she calls herself getting mad, and has been known to turn the house topsy-turvy, report the black man's illegal practices to the police, tell his parents some deep dark secret about him, call his boss and defame his occupational reputation, slash his tires, burn his clothes, or do anything else she think will first embarrass him, then inconvenience him, and then make him madder than he has ever been in his life. She becomes so enveloped in her dissension for one main purpose, to pay him back. She will even destroy items she herself has bought for him. She'll cry and scream and scratch like a wild animal, and she must be dealt with as such. After she has done all she can humanly do, she sits back and waits on the black man's reaction. She still wants his attention, any kind of attention she can get, even if it is the kind of attention that gets her butt whipped. If it is possible to restrain her long enough to get her to listen, it is possible that she can be reasoned with. At this time, the black man should not lie. Repeat, the black man should not lie. He should tell her the truth, untampered with, and in a way as to make her understand that it is not the end of the world just because she doesn't like something that happened. Whenever she fusses or battles with her man and wins, she is still unhappy inside. It is a very confusing dilemma she perpetrates because she doesn't really want to win. And whenever she loses, she gains more confidence in her man's abilities. She is so mixed up. Whenever she wins, it muddles her more. It is not that important to her, whatever he does, as long as he can give her the following. 1, companionship. She wants to be sure that he will not abandon her. She wants belongingness, to be possessed by him. 2, she wants to be connected, included, and considered. 3, opportunity to give service. She wants the black man to give her something to do that will help him. She wants to feel a part of him by doing things for him, especially designed for her, that no one else can do. She wants to be expected to do certain things. 4, she wants a home. She wants a place to live that is secure for her children. She wants her home to be her sanctuary. 5, she wants sexual fulfillment. She wants the black man to desire her and enjoy her sexual expressions and tell her so. She wants to be touched and stroked. 6, she wants to be protected. She wants to be confident that her life and her children's lives are safe with the black man. She wants him to demonstrate this publicly if possible. 7, she wants her man to make decisions. She wants him to decide what she needs and give it to her. She does not want to have to figure out everything for herself. She wants him to take charge. 8, she wants him to be firm. She wants him to set limits and enforce his instructions and rules, not by breaking the peace. 9, she wants security. Again, she wants to know that her man will not leave her for another woman as long as she performs properly and that he will always come back to her. 10, she wants him to be spiritual. She wants her man to identify with and recognize a higher authority, God, and guide his life by his religious principles. If the black man gives her all or some of the above requests, After a time, she will become more secure and give him peace. It is extremely tenuous to try to give her the things that make for peace because she has been taught to live in a mental hell daily. The black man's problem is that the black woman thinks she is the one who has the ideas and is qualified to give the directions. Well, she has been able to lead other black women and some white people, but she has not been able to lead the black man. He won't go. He cannot by nature follow the black woman. It does not matter what she has, who she is, or what she gives him. He will not follow the black woman as his guide. He would rather mark his place, stand still, or step backwards, but he will not go forward with her in the front. The black woman has been tutored by the liberation-seeking white woman to execute her own individuality and throw off the shackles of husbandly bond and practice self-freedom. While some of this may be true for the white woman's plight, it has no bearing on the black woman's situation since she has not been under the black man's rule since prior to slavery. Slavery was such a desperate time for blacks due to the race-destructing tactics employed by the slave master. Not only was there unbearable physical pain and excruciating demanding labor, but separation was promoted by offering singular and individual rewards gained by pleasing the slave master and being a good slave. The individual reward system ripped apart the ties of couples, siblings, relatives, and friends. Independent self-preservation was the rule if one wanted to stay alive and unhurt. This training was a fallacy because the real truth is that the greatest advancements are made through unity and agreement, not individuality. She is a beautiful butterfly encased in a cocoon of fear, doubt, and suspicion. She has been frightened and allowed her fears to govern her life and behavior. It will take a long time to get her back on the right path to successful black womanhood, and it is a journey she cannot make without the guidance of the black man. She is hard-headed and stubborn to have her own way. She thinks that if she obeys her man, that he will try to make a fool of her and take away her identity. She also fears what her family and friends will say if they find out she lets him tell her what to do. Therefore, she is disobedient. Obedient means one who is willing to follow instruction as a means of respect. Slave means a human being who is owned by another and dominated to the point of drudgery, mistreatment, and pain. Fool means a silly person, capable of being tricked or deceived. Black women are not readily able to explain why they associate obedience with that of being a fool, nor are they able to elaborate on why they compare being told what to do with slavery. Here again is the psychological result of slavery on the black woman. The slave master systematically and graphically devised steps to prove in front of the black woman that the black man had no control of his will, and he destroyed anything he tried to build or protect. She doesn't know that every civilization has rules. Mathematically, to add means to multiply and increase. To subtract means to divide and separate. One unites, the other disbands. To unite means to come together. It is impossible to have unity and separation at the same time. Yet, the black woman will practice separation while living in the same house with the black man. She maintains her own separate ideas, separate money, separate personal goals, and separate authority. She does not want anyone telling her what to do. She thinks that she is the most qualified to chart the course. If the black man lets her rule him, she does so with an iron fist. Daily insults, threats, ignoring his presence, telling him what to do every step of the way, abusive language, denial of sex and respect. He has to be home after work at exactly the same time every day. He has to clean the house, take care of his own clothes, wash dishes, fix his own food, maybe sleep in another room, stay in every night, not spend any money without her permission. And throughout all of this, she requires that he acts like he likes it. She calls this keeping him under control. His life becomes pure hell and totally against his nature, and she thinks this is the way to have a successful relationship with a black man. These are her peace requirements. She hates the black man for letting her treat him this way. She wants him to stand up and defend himself even if it means he has to knock her out of the way to do so. This is necessary whenever the black woman steps out of the protection of womanly behavior and enters the dangerous domain of masculine challenge. Regretfully, some black women want to be physically controlled. But masochism is not new to her. Sometimes her sexual desires become perverted to the point that she derives a weird pleasure out of being hit because she likes the special attention she gets during makeup. Some of them report that the sex is extra good right after a good fight. The black man should not give in to her abnormal distortion of sexual stimulation connected to pain, not unless they both agree that this is how they like it. The black woman does not know why certain kinds of pain and discord appeal to her. She doesn't know why she chooses misery over happiness. She gives no consideration to the roots of her ideas. She thinks that everything she thinks comes directly from deep inside her nature, and that whatever she feels is a permanent part of her. She learned everything she knows from other people in the form of instruction or suggestion. The majority of her instructors did not have her well-being in mind. She must be encouraged to talk and study her own behavior, to trace her ideas to the place or point she took them on. It takes a great deal of objectivity to study self, but she can be taught to do so. Everyone must be taught to do so if change is desired. The principles of how to think and use the brain must be studied so the brain of the black woman can be reactivated with new ideas of peace and love for the black man. Arguments and disagreements between the black man and the black woman must be settled in such a way as to deal with not just the catalyst issues that spark the anger, but why the particular incident invited such a frantic and hostile reaction from the woman. Sometimes seemingly harmless or lightweight events cause great eruption in the black woman's mood and cause her to go out of control. Actually, to the black woman, certain behaviors in the black man are symbolic of the things that caused her unbearable pain and disappointment in her childhood or teenage years. She feels vulnerable, threatened, powerless, and scared. These are strong emotions when the black woman experiences them simultaneously. In examining the black woman's childhood, the black man will have ample opportunity to scrutinize his own. It will invariably be found that the disparity between the black man and the black woman was already present when they were born. It has existed a very long time, with each generation contributing to their own part of the decline of black male and black female interpersonal relationships. It is not really something that the present-day blacks invented. It is an inherited habit of neglect, dissatisfaction, and perversion. In the meantime, remember that the black woman's real self is a wonderful, loving helpmate, and if she forgets this and behaves other than her real self, the black man should collar her on the spot and insist she get it back together. He must treat her right and make her treat him right. If after the black man tries every way he can to make the black woman happy, does everything he feels necessary to make her satisfied, and she still insists on being out of order and rebellious, he should get rid of her, no matter what the cost. He should not waste his precious life trying to live with a black woman who refuses to make him happy. Freedom and peace are priceless. There will arise a great resistance against the recommendations in this chapter. Black and white women will flail against the mere idea of suggesting that the black man defend himself physically against the verbal attacks of the black woman. They will cite cases of black women who have been battered by mentally unstable black men. But this directive is not for mentally unstable black men. It is for serious-minded adult black men who are in control of their faculties and whose mission is to reclaim his place as the man over his woman, who recognizes the absolute need for moderation and self-control. Until the argument issue is settled and the black man is proclaimed the national winner, the black woman will continue to talk rough to her man. He must make her respect him, and she must live and behave in such a way as to make him respect her. This is called mutual respect. The black man must not rule his wife and family with unrelenting iron fists. He must be loving, understanding, flexible on minor issues, and willing to confront and work on the visible and invisible problems lurking in his household. When he functions this way, he is in the best position to reprimand or punish wrongdoing. That is chapter 17, y'all. What y'all think? I think she's right. If a black man is presenting himself in his best light, in his best possible way, he is in the position to correct everybody in his household, right? He is the lead. God made Adam, then Eve from Adam, right? If you're Christian and you believe in the Bible, that's how I was raised. So, I mean, the man comes first. The man is the household, the man is the lead. And I think it's a trickle down effect. If the man that's leading you is good, is right, is loving, is understanding, is doing all he's supposed to do, it's a natural effect that the woman will follow suit. And if she doesn't, after correcting her, I agree, get rid of her. I have 3 brothers. I would never recommend them staying with somebody that was giving them so much grief, so much problems. Like, never. Never. Get rid of her. And I agree with that sentiment. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Let's talk about it. The last chapter of this book is the conclusion, and you're not going to want to miss it. I am going to record that one right now. So, yeah. And that's the end of the book. Crazy. What a crazy journey. What a crazy ride. But I appreciate you guys for sticking with me during this and reading this book with me. Like, I feel like, I'm reading it, but I feel like, if you watched this whole thing, you're practically reading it with me. So I appreciate you guys' support and rocking with your girl. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.